conducted following outdoor protocol. Outgoing commander are seated at the right side of the tent. Colonel Kevin, Golinghorst's wife, Julie Golinghorst, and daughter Ariel. The incoming commander's family are seated to the left side of the tent. Colonel Andy Pannier's wife, April Pannier, daughter Kayla, and son-in-law Ivan, son Garrett, and daughter Grace. Also in attendance are Colonel Pannier's sisters, Melinda Pannier and Jennifer Bullard, and brother-in-law Mark Bullard. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Brigadier General Kimberly Peoples, Commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Mississippi Valley Division, in Vicksburg, Mississippi, welcome to today's change of command ceremony. Today, we bid farewell to Colonel Kevin Golinghorst and welcome Colonel Andy Pannier. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guests attending today's ceremony include Mr. Carmelo Melendez, Director, Legacy Management, Department of Energy, staff from offices of Senators Duckworth, Hawley, and Schmidt, and offices of Representatives Graves, Bost, and Luchtenmeyer and Smith, and our local, state, and industry partners. Thank you for all being here. Throughout history, armies have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victories, to honor their heroes, to celebrate special occasions, or to pay homage to their fallen comrades. These ceremonies add color and pageantry to military life. In the United States, the foundation of our present ceremonies was laid by the Continental Army. Today's ceremony is a reflection of procedures practiced since the dawn of our nation. The change of command ceremony is derived from our Army's first manual of ceremonies, the Blue Book, written by General von Steuben. The ceremony you are about to see includes arrival of the official party, honors to the nation, change of command, remarks, and conclusions. We hope you enjoy this historic event. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is Brigadier General Kimberly Peoples, Commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Mississippi Valley Division. In recognition of their service to St. Louis District, the families of the outgoing and incoming commanders will now be honored. On behalf of the district employees, red roses are being presented to Colonel Golinghorst's wife, Julie, and daughter Ariel. The roses are in full bloom, and red symbolizes the color of the heart. And the care and concern they have shown for the employees and their families over the last 3 years. Yellow roses have been presented or being presented to Mrs. April Pannier, daughter Grace, and daughter Kayla as a sign of welcome and a new beginning. The budding flowers represent the anticipation of things to come. Please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation given by Chaplain Bailey, the USACE chaplain. Chaplain Bailey will now give the invocation.
I invite you to please join me in prayer. Almighty God, we are thankful for the opportunity to pause and celebrate the successful command of Colonel Kevin Golinghorst. His dedication to professionalism, integrity, and people-centric compassion created a climate for the accomplishments of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, St. Louis District. May you bless and continue to guide Kevin, Julie, and their children, Gabe and Ariel, as they prepare for continued service to the nation and their community in retirement. As Colonel Andy Pannier assumes the mantle of leadership here today, may you continue to imbue him with the same wisdom, character, and integrity that brought him thus far as he builds upon the success of Colonel Golinghorst and addresses new and unique challenges for the St. Louis District as he and his family enjoy a new community and create long-lasting memories with their new family within the district, as well as their longtime family and friends here in the central Mississippi Valley. We also pause to give thanks for the team of professionals here within the St. Louis District. Their dedication to the mission and providing engineering solutions provide security, navigability, environmental sustainability, and expert engineering and environmental support to a region teeming with commercial activity and cultural richness that represents the heart and soul of this great nation. May you continue to watch over them and use their skills, intelligence, and capabilities to bless and protect the St. Louis District, the Mississippi Valley, and our nation. These things we pray in your holy name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, be seated. The change of command is a simple traditional event that is rich in symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the unit's colors. These colors represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its members. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing the responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there are also the colors. Throughout history, commanders ensured their colors were carried by one of their most trusted officers. This practice was used in the Army until 1813, when the regulations were changed and the flag was entrusted into color sergeants or sergeants major. District commanders select one of their most trusted civilian advisors to perform the honors. Today, Mr. John Pikert, Deputy for Programs and Project Management, as the senior civilian advisor in the St. Louis District, will have this honor. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of authority from the outgoing commander to the incoming commander. The passing of the colors demonstrates the soldiers and civilians of the organization, and the outgoing commander has passed the mantle of leadership to the incoming commander. By the authority of the Army Regulations 600-20, paragraph 2-5, the undersigned assumes command of the St. Louis District, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, effective 21 July 2023, signed Andy J. Pannier, Colonel, Engineer, Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier Kimberly Peoples, Commander of the Mississippi Valley Division.
Good morning. Distinguished guests, members of the Golinghorst and Pannier family, senior executives, commanders, DPMs, teammates, partners, family, and friends of the St. Louis District, thank you for joining us today at this historic event. I want to begin by thanking our hosts for today's event and this week's governance activities, the Department of Energy, Office of Legacy Management, and the Weldon Spring Interpretive Center team. Mr. Melendez, thank you for your continued partnership. for spending time with the Mississippi Valley team, and for recognizing both the St. Louis team and this great colonel this week. And as we gaze upon the incredible Interpretive Center, a joint venture between our organizations, we are reminded of the strength of our nation, Americans in service to America, doing the right thing for one another together. To our congressional members, our partners, and stakeholders, your presence today is both a gift and a testimony to the people first, mission always, team-oriented spirit of St. Louis and this critical region. Through thick and thin, you are there, and we are grateful for your engagement and your support. To the outstanding team of professionals responsible for planning and organizing and executing today's event, a hearty thank you. Special thanks to the IT team, logistics, public affairs, emerging leaders, and support staff from St. Louis District. An outdoor ceremony is no small feat, but it's very well done, and we thank you. And to Chaplain Bailey, thanks for not only making the trip here, but for this beautiful weather. Nice and cool, nice wind, and for the powerful words. You model selfless service and compassion, and we're grateful for you being here with us today. Over 20 years ago, as a captain in the Kansas City District, I was assigned duty as a contracting officer representative for a food wrap cleanup site in the St. Louis District area of responsibility, Weldon Spring. I also served as a project manager working a project in and through the St. Louis District for the NGA. I have firsthand knowledge of the competence and commitment of this team, and in the years since, I've watched this incredible district win, delivering a complex mission set with a professional and steady hand. Today's event marks my first official ceremony as the commander of the Mississippi Valley Division, and I'm joined by my husband, John, and son, Van. It's a privilege for us to be here with you all today and to celebrate this incredible team of teams, recognizing two selfless command teams and engineer families. I first want to introduce the Golinghorst family and thank them for outstanding support and dedicated service to the St. Louis District and this wonderful community. Julie and Kevin married in 1997, which they like to refer to as their personal D-Day, a military family through and through. Julie's a dedicated wife and mother focused on spiritual and physical fitness in her own and others' lives. She graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy, and we're okay with it. We're okay with it. Because she served as an Army officer in the military intelligence field for 7 years and other things. We're okay. Julie has a master's degree in health and wellness from Liberty. John's also a Liberty alum. Go Flames. And we enjoyed getting to know you better last night. It seems like we're old friends. Gabe, their son, who was unable to be here with us today, he's 20, loves skateboarding, snowboarding, and other outdoor adventure sports. He's lived and worked in West Virginia, Pennsylvania since graduating high school, and he loves to travel. Hey, Gabe. Ariel, Kevin and Julie's daughter, is a budding artist who likes 90s rock music. She's actually quite a musician herself with the electric guitar. She'll finish up her last 2 years of high school here locally without another move, which is huge. She goes to school in Kirkwood. Ariel, we like we talked today, I saw just a glimpse of your artistic talent. Wow, you are so talented. It's very impressive. We wish you all the best. So Kevin and Julie have a very supportive family, including Kevin's parents, and they're watching from Eastern Iowa. And Julie, your parents are watching from Oxford, Georgia. I just want to give a shout out and a wave. Thank you all for raising these wonderful Army family members. So I've heard very great things about your entire family and the friend network you've made through the years, and look forward to continuing to get to know them in the coming days. I'd like to introduce next the Pannier family, Andy, April, and their 4 children, Kayla, Briley, Garrett, and Grace. A native of this area, more specifically Clinton County. I guess counties are another thing I got to get to know. Andy, you're home. And Chuck said something about beer, but we'll talk about that later. Andy and April lived down the road from each other at Fort Campbell 13 years before they met. We are very glad how things worked out. April's a proud West Virginian, an elementary teacher. She's been an Army spouse for more than 25 years, serving in multiple Army communities. She holds a Master of Science in Education. And as I mentioned, they have 4 wonderful children. Kayla is here. She's a financial advisor with her husband, Ivan. They traveled in from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Wonderful talking with you today. Briley is a mellophone player. I had to ask about that. Amazing. She couldn't be here today. She's on the road with the Sacramento Mandarins competing across the nation in a drum corps international. Garrett is a high school freshman, a proud Collinsville K-Hawk. I get that right? He's also a Boy Scout, a trumpet player, and then last but not least, Gracie, a 5th grader. She's a gymnast who also plays the ukulele. So such talent, perhaps Army Band is the future. Andy and April have also a supportive family. I'd like to recognize your Andy's sisters, Melinda, Jennifer's husband, Mark, and all the family members in attendance here from this area. Thank you for making the trip. So Army life is a team sport, and that's very evident this morning. Within the Army Corps of Engineers, 44 districts across 9 divisions drive mission success and achieve results for our community and our nation. The St. Louis district is one of our very best. It truly is the gateway to excellence. Day in and day out, a dedicated team of military and civilian employees provide world-class engineering and water resource solutions to improve safety, energize the economy, sustain the environment, and enhance the quality of life within their area of responsibility through expertise and innovation and partnerships. The district manages over 300 miles of the Mississippi. That includes a total of 5 locks and dams. They ensure over 416 miles of navigable channels. I know, Marty, you're here again, and I know you're happy for that, and those you represent. They operate the Mel Price Lock and Dam, also known as the last or southernmost lock and dam before Open River. To mitigate flood risk, the district is responsible for 750 miles of levees and executes a robust ecosystem restoration program. A nation's leader of outdoor rec, they host over 9 million visitors annually and operate an important hydropower plant at the beautiful Mark Twain Lake, providing clean energy for over 20,000 households. The district is a mandatory center of expertise for curation and management of archaeological collections and the Veteran Curation Program, and one of the chosen few USACE districts that manages a formally utilized site remediation action program, or FUSRAP, with and for the Department of Energy. And I could go on and on. Theirs is a complex mission set critical to national security and a testament of our collective responsibility to engineer for the public good since 1775 and the birth of our nation. District command in our Army is a privilege, and it requires the Army's best officers, competent, committed, humble team builders, willing to learn and driven to serve. Colonel Kevin Golinghorst is one of these officers. Over the past 3 years, Kevin proved himself as a gifted and talented leader, a technical expert and tactician, and a people person. Kevin cares. I'd like to take another moment to highlight just a few significant achievements that the district achieved under your watch. At a small ceremony in COVID conditions, much different than today, Kevin assumed command of this multidisciplined district of 700 civilians and military. You provided stability and purpose and connection to the workforce while simultaneously allowing the district to solve the nation's toughest engineering problems without interruption. Soon after that intimate change of command ceremony, Kevin found himself leading an emergency engineering solution to deter cutoff of Dogtooth Bend near Cairo, Illinois. The team achieved significant risk reduction on the Metro East levee system with the completion of a deep cutoff wall. You spearheaded an innovative approach to infrastructure recapitalization, introducing the integrated design and construction acquisition strategy for the 1,200-foot lock extension at Lock and Dam 25. Kevin's leadership led to a ribbon cutting for this beautiful Department of Energy Weldon Springs Site Interpretive Center and a coordinated and engaged response at Coldwater Creek. You demonstrated exceptional leadership in the response to the low water event on the Mississippi River, coordinating messaging with local, state, and federal agencies and impacted stakeholders. And through Kevin's collaborative efforts, you established strong partnerships as evidenced by those in attendance today. The list continues, but Kevin is very uncomfortable right now. And those of you that know Kevin understand that it's his humility. He would redirect every success achieved over the past 3 years to his team and to you. And he did that earlier in the conference room. Through it all and by his side was Julie and their resilient children. Julie joined in setting a positive climate in the district and in this community. Her sacrifice reinforces the incredible strength the Army and our nation receive from strong Army families. On behalf of our Army, I thank you again. Leadership and service like this deserves applause. Would you please join me in thanking the Golinghorst family? Kevin, job extremely well done. You have been a source of professionalism and stability in this region and in our engineer regiment. You're a catalyst and a caring person. You'll be missed but not forgotten. Congratulations. It's been an honor serving together. All the best in your next chapter, and Godspeed. As always, when we bid farewell to the outgoing command team, we welcome a new one, eager for this opportunity. Andy and April, welcome to the St. Louis District and the division in your new role. As many of you know very well, Andy's no stranger to the region, having served as Major General Holland's deputy commander for the past 2 years. A St. Louis Cardinals and St. Louis Blues fan, Andy wanted to do something different with his life, so he enlisted in the Army as a medic. Later, he received his U.S. Army commission in 1999 from Eastern Illinois University. A seasoned professional, Andy is a very talented engineer officer. You've deployed multiple times and you have an amazing reputation across the Army. He's a repeat offender to the 101st Airborne Division and now here within the Mississippi Valley Division. Andy's mom is your role model. They frequented the St. Louis District lakes and watched the barges lock through the river. Andy, I know she's very proud of you today. I've had the opportunity to serve with Andy for 2 years, and without hesitation, Andy is the right leader at the right time to carry on the legacy of this proud district. Andy, I'm confident in your ability to successfully lead the district and to deliver. There will be wicked challenges ahead, and I'm confident that you will bring the energy and perspective this community deserves. We're here for you, and for you, April. We're excited for what lies ahead. Please never hesitate to reach out if John and I could help in any way. In closing, I would like to publicly recognize this superb St. Louis District team, responsible for a complex mission set I described earlier in my remarks. It has been a great week, and I look forward to spending time with you and your partners in the days ahead. Your leaders describe you as proud and awesome. Two pretty powerful words. I couldn't agree more. And I want to thank you for solving the nation's hardest problems together, making it look easy. The last 3 years have been challenging, but as a team, you continue to excel and answer the nation's call. Thank you for your loyalty, your dedication, and your perseverance, Essayons. For all in attendance today to honor the St. Louis District and both of these great Army families, thank you again for your support to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. May God continue to bless our nation and our military as we fight and win our nation's war and engineer for the public good. Be all that you can be. Army strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Kevin Golinghorst.
All right, ma'am, you're right. I'm a little uncomfortable this morning. You know, I've deployed soldiers into combat, and this is at that level. A tough thing to do here this morning. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Peoples. Man, I'm going to break from the protocol here. And I was warned by someone not to go off script too much. I'm going to check my watch. You know who you are. So, ma'am, in the award ceremony, thank you again. You asked some folks to raise their hands. So I'm going to take you from that. That was a great example of those that were able to make it for that. And so I'm going to do this today. So be alert, right? And be ready to raise your hand or stand, please. Distinguished guests. Mr. Melendez, Department of Energy. Sir, thank you. We have from the Mississippi River Commission, Mr. Reeder, if you're able to make it. From Mississippi Division, Mr. Bodron and Dr. Fleming. Thank you. Best sappers. I haven't seen them yet. They might be in the room here. A couple coming into town. Yep. You didn't think that was going to happen, did you? Best sappers are here. Distinguished guests. Guests are here in person, like Colonel Scott Preston. All right. Very good. And those of you who are able to join online, I'm going to do the same, ma'am. Family, I love you. And you are here with us. Or maybe those that will watch after the fact, like our son, Gabe. I doubt he's online. But we'll watch it with you, Gabe, when you get home. To the members of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which we affectionately call the USACE. You'll hear that a lot. To include many retirees and former teammates of the St. Louis District that may no longer be with us. Ma'am, thanks for highlighting those that are here today and are those that are getting the work done out there throughout the entire district. Leaders from across the Mississippi Valley Division, those that are with us today. If you're a part of the staff, commanders, and civilian deputies, please raise your hand. You're intermixed here. Raise your hands. You're not. That includes district leaders, right? District leaders, you're enterprise leaders, district commanders and deputies, right? Right. There you go. Even including developmental folks there, Sarah. And those that were prior to your current positions: Carl, Steve, Zach, Rob, Murph, even Jeremy up at Division. I'm humbled and honored that you all were able to be here in person today or online. And as I take on the new title as a former commander of this amazing organization, as I look out across this remarkable group that is here today, there's no way I could recognize everyone, but I'm going to try. Get through quite a few names. You're going to hear a lot about people, and you're going to hear a lot about these partnerships and these great organizations that are represented here today by many of you. So I want to say thanks up front to these partners at the federal level, at the state, both in Missouri and Illinois, and local partners, to include industry, both whether it be the river industry, so raise your hand. If you're a federal, state, local partner, the river industry, AE firms, construction, don't be shy, raise your hand. All right, you're all intermixed there. All right, so I just can't go by name, but thank you. But special thanks to the Department of Energy and your team here hosting us at this historic location in Weldon Springs, Missouri. Thanks to the key staff members here today representing our elected officials in the region. All right, so you get ready, raise your hand, don't be shy. Leaders representing Senator Duckworth and Representative Boss from Illinois. From Missouri, Senators Hawley and Schmidt, as well as Representatives Graves and Smith. But I must add a special thanks to Senator Durbin and his staff and other representatives for the support of our MEGI projects and the support of the people here in the region. And I'm confident that these partnerships will continue in the future. At a more local level, Mayor Eastern, I didn't get a chance to see him if he's here, right? So we've got a couple of mayors, and Mayor Morrow from Grafton, Illinois, and Brad Myers, a city administrator from Carlisle. It's just a few of the many cities and towns along the Mississippi River, and Colin representing Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative here in the entire River Valley. You know, these cities and towns and the people that live in this area up and down our rivers and tributaries and our 5 USACE lakes are so important to our mission here. It's why we do what we do. So you all can live safely and enjoy this great Midwest that we have to enjoy. Now, I must add a little bit about Colonel Retired, now Grafton Mayor Mike Morrow, sir. Really special you and your wife could be here today as the 46th commander of this great district from 1999 to 2002. So thanks for being here and to all of the elected officials that are represented and for making your way across the mighty Mississippi River from Illinois to be here. On a bit of a somber note, I wanted to signify the recent passing of another former DE or district engineer, Colonel Retired Dan Wilson, the 41st commander. served here from 1985 to 88. He'll always be remembered fondly by those of us who had the opportunity to meet him and learn about him and his family's dedicated service to the nation. Thank you specifically to Mrs. Susan Wilson, your family, and again, our sympathies for you and your family. On a lighter note, we welcome Mr. Leon McKinney Jr., representing the son. He's the son of our 38th commander, the deceased Colonel Leon McKinney Sr., who commanded from 1976 to 79. So really special for each of you and your families to be here. They represent the great example and legacy and shoulders for us to stand upon. But as we reflect on what brings us here today for this change of command, I hope to maybe de-emphasize the role of outgoing and incoming commanders, and instead highlight this great opportunity every 3 years to focus on the accomplishments of this great organization, to focus on our families, and the fine people of the St. Louis district. So when my family and I arrived, ma'am, as you mentioned, 3 years ago, the district, the city and state, and the nation, really the world was reeling from the national and global pandemic, of which I'm not even going to give courtesy to the name of the virus. So we're done. Well, it's still out there, but be careful. You all know we lived it, got through it together. We adapted and we endured, and I hope we came through it stronger and more resilient today to better prepare for the challenges that we'll face together in the future. So, ma'am, as you mentioned, we conducted this ceremony. Very different, right, Susan? Right? I think couldn't even pass the colors at the time. Very small group, and that's a big reason why I really just am thankful for this time to all be here together in person, still being online, still being adaptable, and it's for us to reflect a bit on some of what we've been through together and what this great team has done and will continue to do for the nation. So the beauty of having that change of command recorded from 3 years ago, I was able to go back and watch it again, kind of get my cues, and it reminded me to first thank the chief engineers, then Lieutenant General Semonite, and now Lieutenant General Spellman, for this amazing opportunity for command within USACE. To the former MD commander, Major General Holland, ma'am, thank you for your steady and calm leadership to help us weather the storms and crises, but also to thank and reward our great teammates appropriately. You truly led across this entire valley, and we are grateful for your example and inspiration in so many ways. And General Peoples, no pressure, right? Big shoes to fill. But man, I can tell already that you're going to be the commander that this great organization needs. Congratulations to you for recently taking command, and thanks to you, your husband and son, for being here and officiating over today's ceremony. So now 3 years ago, I had the honor of thanking the outgoing commander, Colonel Brian Sizemore, a good friend and classmate. The reason I bring up a former commander again is we were classmates at West Point. And at class of 96, for freedom or risk, USPA 96. And I want to thank Jeff Bull, right, and his family for being here today to represent our great class, but also the West Point Society of St. Louis. So raise your hands, Jeff. West Point Society, right? So we got Mike and Terry and Maria and others and their families. And just really, and just I got to show my prop here. You all know I like my props. In the mail last night was the traditions of the United States Military Academy. So special holder of my speech here today. And the meetings afterwards at lunch. At the time, I thanked the district, which I'm going to focus on today, and the community. And then lastly, I focus on my family. So I figured I better flip the script, focus on what's most important up front. And this is the hard part. So I figured I'd get it done up front. So Chaplain, I'm going to ask for your prayers, not just for the great weather, that I can get through this part here. And then lastly, it's my honor to welcome the newest commander, the 54th Commander of St. Louis District, Colonel Andy Pannier. All right. So now I normally say I'll speak about 4 to 5 minutes. That's 4 to 5, not 45 minutes. I'm going to be a little longer than that. I'll try not to get to 45 today. All right. I'm doing pretty good on my numbers of pages here. So I first want to thank God for many blessings and his strength to serve him each day. I want to thank him for bringing my wife, Julie, into my life. And Jules, you know that I would not be here today without the love and support that you provided me all these years. 26 years of faithful marriage, and specifically these last three years of command. You've been my rock, and thank you for your service in uniform, as was mentioned, even coming from the beautiful shores of Annapolis to the hallowed grounds of West Point, where we meet in the mid-90s. Thanks for seeing the light and eventually coming to the Army for those years of service, and before we started a family. And but that, as you know, that's when you decided to take the uniform off, that's when the hard work began. So thank you for being the mother of our 2 amazing kids, Gabe and Ariel. Continue to serve in your own way, serving those in need in the region as part of a nonprofit, oftentimes in a fitness uniform rather than military uniform, and encouraging the health and wellness for all and setting that great example for all of us. So thank you. All right, online to our son Gabe, who's working out east and unable to be here with us. We'll hopefully watch this with you someday. We love you and want to encourage you to keep pursuing your dreams. We'll always be here, and you have our full support. Ariel, same for you. As you endure these final 2 years with mom and dad and, single parent or a single child home here, getting through high school in Kirkwood, you've got this, Ayers. We love you. And your mom and I are confident you'll be able to do anything that you set your mind to. Back online to our parents, Richard and Mary Golinghorst, extended families up in Iowa and down in Oklahoma, including Kevin and Kathy Gill, family down in Georgia. Thank you both as couples and parents for your love and example with over 50 plus years of marriage, for being there for us 3 years ago. And while not here today, you're with us in spirit. And we look forward to enjoying the county fair up in Iowa, many of you in early August, as I like to celebrate my 50th birthday, next big milestone. And later down here in St. Louis at the end of August, as we finalize plans for a separate retirement ceremony and a gathering at one of our premier lake sites. There's so many others, mentors, leaders, and friends that I'd like to say thanks to. I'm only going to pick out a few here as representatives of the Department of the Army civilians, our great officers, warrant officers, non-commissioned officers, and soldiers. And so, I was going to do with our civilians. I'm going to mention many by name here, but one in particular, both wore the uniform and has served many years as a civilian civil servant. So I know Archie is here. If you could raise your hand. Archie, you all know Archie. He's around. All right. So Vietnam veteran and amazing contract expertise for the district. Major retired Ernest Aketa online. Sir, thank you for your dedicated service still today. I was going to mention a CW5 warrant officer here and then by name, but I'm just going to keep it to all 3 CW5 warrant officers. Amazing leaders in your own right. And this does not happen, people, to get 1, 2, or 3. So thank you for your presence here today. Sergeant Major retired Toby Kamer and a Sergeant Major Ski that's here today. Both honored to serve with you previously. And Mr. Vincent Morales online, just to name a few, representing each of those great professionals that come together as a team. I look forward to staying in touch with all of you as I retire and remain here in St. Louis and figure out our next chapter of service to this great nation. All right, now's my time check. All right, ma'am, a little bit longer, almost done. But now's the focus, right? It's the district. And ma'am, you did a great job already getting a lot of the focus there of what we've done over the last 3 years, part of our 150 years of service here in the region. But how can I really explain the multitude of things you've accomplished? I've often boiled it down to our mantra: keeping people safe from water, keeping water safe from people, and making that water useful. That's pretty good, right? If you take nothing away, right? People, water, right? That's our bread and butter there. So this is true as we balance all those focus areas. And so those 3 big areas that you heard General Peoples talk about: navigation for the nation's economy, and therefore tied to national security, man. By operating and maintaining the 5 major locks and dams in our footprint of the pooled portions of our 300-mile stretch of the upper Mississippi River, and conducting proactive dredging to maintain that 9-foot deep, 300 feet wide channel. Quite a mission, especially with these low water seasons we've been having. Number 2, the flood risk management to reduce the inherent risks that Mother Nature regularly provides. Now, I do want to note, while we've had that extreme localized flooding, we haven't had a major flood. So I just want to go ahead and take credit for that one. It's coming. It's coming. Instead, I got the opposite challenge, right? Low water. So you never know what you're going to face here. And then thirdly, the ecosystem restoration, taking care of our environment, improving it every day through regional programs like the Upper Mississippi River Restoration Program, or UMR, and the finally long-awaited and appreciated funding for the Navigation and Ecosystem Sustainability Program, or NESP. Whew. It's going well. It's awesome. We do so much more, and you make it all seamlessly happen. I'll touch upon the water supply out of our 405 reservoirs, hydropower at 1, safe recreation. You see the rangers here that are working with the public every day to ensure they can enjoy, but be safe out in rivers and lakes. We have special capabilities for environmental remediation, with food wrap, as you mentioned, ma'am, the curation and archaeological collections, photogrammetric mapping, and the list goes on and on. It would be impossible for me to truly go through an exhaustive list there. And it's also impossible for me to express all my feelings that I have for each of you. MVS, the St. Louis District. It really is the heart of MVD and the hinge of the Mississippi River. This challenging middle miss that has the confluence of the Illinois and Missouri rivers, but not yet the volume of the Ohio River that is in the southern end of our border. It's where 30 years ago, this district fought the Great Flood of '93. I see Dave Bussey, Mark Alvey, and others that were here learning as young leaders. We've been working hard to reduce the risks of that flooding ever since, with advancements completed within the Wood River levee system, the East St. Louis cutoff wall, and many more features with countless flood risk reduction measures. So I've got to stop now because I know I could probably go all morning. And I really want to transition to the focus, as was mentioned, is on the people. And really, it does not get done easily. But as I mentioned, Miss Susan Wilson for the first 2 years, and Mr. John Pikert, sir, this last year, just as senior civilian leaders and deputies leading our amazing program management teams. Mr. Dave Bussey, our Chief of Engineering and Construction, retiring this fall after nearly 40 years in the district himself. Mr. Lou DeLorco, also retired engineer colonel. You all can raise your hands too, by the way. Y'all being subtle out in the back. And a chief of the entire operations division. What an amazing team out at our lakes, locks, and our crews on our motor vessels. Specifically, those amazing dedicated men and women on the Dredge Potter are out there in the harbor today until the mission's done to keep the Mississippi River open for navigation. We have Mrs. Heather Osunkis, the previous deputy and now district counsel, and her predecessors, Mr. Bill Levin and Mark Wunsch, as they lead the entire Office of Council team. Our front office, of course, legendary deputy, Lieutenant Colonel Sears, behind the scenes expert, Mr. John Miller, Ms. Chris Hennett, Mr. Jeff Green, the man behind the curtain that's really pulling all the strings. The contracting, the resource management, the real estate, so many other special staff capabilities, whether it be security and safety, public affairs and EEO, small business, internal review. Sorry for the acronyms. Our support within human resources, logistics, the IT staff. Really, again, I can go on and on. It's the entire team making the mission happen, coming together. Keep up the great work. Support the mission and deliver quality projects on time and on budget safely, as our chief has asked us to do. And that's what winning looks like here in the St. Louis District in the Mississippi Valley Division for the Corps of Engineers. And so to wrap it up, I was going to actually give a couple examples of the big rocks, the big projects that were really over the last 3 years that stick in my mind, knowing that there's so many to mention. And man, you've already kind of hit them, so that's good. You see behind us this amazing vertical construction, the work that was done there. And I'll highlight Matt Bielhaber, who's here, has given tours back there, one of many tremendous employees of this district. Ma'am, I mentioned NESP and the fact that we began design work on a 1,200-foot lock extension. And tremendous, after Mel Price on the Mississippi River, tremendous infrastructure advancement here in the region. So Jose Lopez and you and your team leading that work and doing an incredible job. And then lastly, Mr. Melendez, Department of Energy, and our FUSRAP team. So I see Phil Mosier kind of hiding back there. And really, you all are representing so many more as well that really get after the tough mission of remediation and communication on what we are doing to get after some tough problems for our nation. So thank you. Whether it's work with DOE, EPA, the states and local communities, it's so important. All right, so I don't think I'm getting to 45 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and just stop there. And lastly, to Andy, what can I say? I'll say best of luck. You're going to do great. It's going to be some long days and weeks, but the months and years are going to fly by. I'm going to miss this team, but I'm grateful that I've been able to pass on this privilege and responsibility of command to a man of God and an officer of your caliber. Please keep in touch, and I'll always be available for anything you should ever need. In conclusion, I want to thank you all again for being with us here today to celebrate this great team, the St. Louis District of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Please stay safe and healthy. Essayons. We're Army strong, and we'll keep building strong. And lastly, I'd ask that you be all you can be.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Andy Pannier, Commander of the St. Louis District.
Good morning, and thanks to everyone for attending this ceremony. Following in Kevin's footsteps, I'm going to go off script for a moment just to explain something to you about military ceremonies if you're not familiar. So we're here today to honor Kevin and all that has occurred in this district under his tenure as the leader and everything that was accomplished by the employees here because of his leadership. So by default, he gets the longest amount of time to speak, which means we're downhill from here because I'm not going to be that long. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks to God for the blessing to serve the people of the St. Louis District as your commander. Thanks to my wife, April, and our 4 children, Caleb, Riley, Garrett, and Grace, for supporting me through all these years and never questioning my choice to serve this nation. I love you all. To Lieutenant General Spellman and Brigadier General Peoples, thanks for having the confidence in me to lead this incredible and dedicated professional team. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the representatives from Senators Duckworth, Schmidt, and Hawley's office, and the office of Congressman Graves, Bost, Lukemeyer, and Smith. Thank you for being here and supporting this district. I would also like to say thanks to Kevin Golinghorst and his family for their leadership and dedication to this district throughout a time of great uncertainty and anxiety for many during the pandemic. It takes a strong leader surrounded by a strong family to lead an organization through such trying times. And I am honored to follow in your footsteps as the 54th Commander of the St. Louis District. I've served for the past 2 years as the Deputy Commander of the Mississippi Valley Division and the Secretary of the Mississippi River Commission. The remarkable team at the Mississippi Valley Division has done a lot to prepare me for this command. But one of the most important things I learned over the past 2 years, and one of the things that I enjoyed most about the position, is the value of the relationships we have along the entirety of the Mississippi River. Not only is this the greatest river in the world, serving under the greatest division in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, but unequivocally, we have the greatest partners of any government institution. I truly believe that the Mississippi Valley Division and the St. Louis District cannot do what we do without our partners. You're vital to every step of the process to make the Mississippi River the premier inland waterway in the world. I've traveled to Laos, Cambodia, and India to discuss what we have here. And we, all of you in this district, and all of our partners, truly are the envy of the world. The envy of the world for the strength in what you have built here. I look forward to deepening those partnerships and developing new ones with stakeholders throughout the district. It's difficult to find the right words to do justice to how I feel being selected as commander of the St. Louis District. I've traveled the country and around the globe serving in the Army since 1994. And today, the Army's leadership has brought me home. I grew up in New Baden, Illinois, a small rural community 25 miles across the Mississippi River from St. Louis. Never in all my dreams could I imagine one day the Army would bring me home to serve the communities of the St. Louis District. As a kid, my mom, truly the most inspirational person in my life, would take all 5 of us kids down to the river and watch the barges lock through. We'd go up to Pierre Marquette and hike the trails and eat in the lodge. And we would camp and grill out and play on the beaches of all the lakes in this district. I'm sure my sisters, Jennifer and Lynn, Jennifer here today, could attest to those great days and the memories they created for us. The memories I have across this entire region are vast and wonderful, and I'm so happy to be back home with this team. During our regional leadership meeting, which occurred throughout this week, our leaders came from all over the district. Our leaders came from all over the division to spend time here. During yesterday's discussion, in a very lighthearted manner, each district commander was asked what dog would describe their district. I see the St. Louis District represented by the 2 animals that are iconic to St. Louis. The Dalmatian, calmly responding to any emergency or fire, and the Clydesdale, a quiet, humble workhorse, recognized as the pride of America. And that truly is this district. To the employees of the St. Louis district, I've had the honor to watch you from afar for the past 2 years. Truly proud of everything you've done, and I know there's nothing that can't be put on the plate that you won't accomplish. I'm humbled beyond imagine to be serving as your commander. There's no prouder day in my Army career than today. I will lead this district faithfully with humility and passion. Thank you all for joining us today. A seance and building strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Engineer Song and the Army Song. The words are located in the back of your program.
March along, sing a song, in the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First you fight for the right and to build the nation's might. When the army goes rolling along. Now of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won. And the army goes rolling along. Hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. So wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
On behalf of the commander of the Mississippi Valley Division, we wish to thank you for your attendance at today's change of command ceremony. Colonel Golinghorst and family will receive friends and well-wishers up front. Colonel Pannier will host a reception in the Coyote Room inside the Interpreter Center directly following the ceremony. Before you leave, please sure to visit the museum in the Interpreter Center and visit the top of the disposal cell behind us. Thank you for joining us on this historic occasion. Essayons, building strong, Army strong.